Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing one of the most fun runs in the game, where we are going to stack massive amounts of HP because we're going to play Renegade with the Ghost Scepter. Ghost Scepter normally struggles to kill enemies, but the extra projectiles and extra piercing that the Renegade gives this weapon makes it very good at getting kills, which means we're going to stack enormous amounts of free health from playing with the Ghost Scepter. I think that this is just a really fun run in general because it's still pretty difficult. It's still a fairly low damage, slow attacking weapon. Renegade does have some natural difficulties, but because of the way that the character works, you get to use this normally fairly weak weapon in a very powerful way. We got that tree kill there. Unfortunately, it did cost me a couple enemy kills, so we still only got 56 materials, and we didn't get a crate drop or anything, but still not bad for the first wave here. And you'll notice that normally it is impossible to get 1 HP in the first wave with Ghost Scepter. It just doesn't attack enough, but because we're playing the Renegade, we were able to do that. I'm gonna roll here, and I'm looking for harvesting. I would also take ranged damage. Harvesting is still good on this character, of course, but we don't need economy as much as a normal character would, because a lot of our economy is going to come in the form of just getting free HP from the Ghost Scepters. I'm going to leave both of these items in the pool. We don't want to ban level 1 items that we don't have yet, because as the Renegade, each unique level 1 item gives us extra % damage, and it's very important to boost that stat. We will lock the Scar here, and then I'll do a reroll and buy a Ghost Scepter. I could roll again. Toxic Sludge obviously isn't the greatest level 1 item. We'll still end up buying it, so I'm not going to ban it here, but we can lock something better. So let's reroll. Let's lock the Ghost Scepter. Glasses, again, we're going to leave in the pool, but it's not a priority to buy, so we're not going to lock it. The neat thing about bans for the Renegade is that we can ban bad level 1 items that we already have a copy of. And that just makes the shop overall much better for us, because level 1 items that we normally wouldn't want on a ranged Ghost Scepter build, the Renegade gets value out of. So we're happy to see them in the shop. And then when we no longer get value out of them, we just get rid of them. Let's roll here, and I could take 2 lifesteal. But let's just pick up some attack speed. Getting attack speed going early is going to be extremely important. We'll buy another Ghost Scepter and roll, buy another one and roll, and we'll lock another one. Baby Gecko, I still think isn't quite good enough to lock here. It is helpful, of course. We are going to leave materials on the ground on this character, but I really want to hold out for the really premium level 1 items. Or anything that really boosts our damage, like a lens. At this point, we are somewhat at our weakest, because I haven't managed to increase the damage per shot of my Scepters yet. So we're still only dealing 2 damage per shot with 1 additional damage on the piercing shots. But that will quickly change. Here I'm going to take a ranged damage, and then I could take 8% damage. The Renegade buys % damage at 1/5 of the normal rate, but it is still important to boost your % damage because it starts at minus 80%, so it's much more impactful to increase a number that low. But I think I'm going to reroll here, and I will take 2 armor. 1 ranged damage is also helpful, but we will definitely need to fix our armor, of course, because we're playing an ethereal weapon build, so we're reducing our armor significantly. We'll buy the Scar here, we'll buy the helmet. Jelly, again, we would buy it, but I'm not going to lock it. I'm just going to do a reroll here. We'll lock a Ghost Scepter, and we'll lock a Corrupted Shard. These are level 1 items that we specifically want. So now we do 3 damage per shot, times 3 shots per attack. And so our weapon is dealing almost as much damage as it would normally, because normally the Ghost Scepter does 10 damage per shot, but you only get 1 attack per attack, whereas with the Renegade, we're now dealing 9 damage every time we attack. But it's better than that because it's spread out across multiple enemies, so our functional DPS, since we're not overkilling things, is much higher. Okay, we'll take the jelly here. Obviously, the 1 HP is pretty useless to us, but increasing our percent damage is very, very important. And then let's do a reroll, and I would take harvesting, but flat ranged damage is extremely critical for this character, so we're going to pick that up. I could take 5 attack speed here. I feel like I can find something good, so I'll put in a couple rerolls, and I guess I'll take 5 harvesting now. We'll pick up the Ghost Scepter upgrade, and then I should be able to buy all of these items, right? So this gives us a free reroll and 3 more level 1 items that we don't have yet. Duct tape and beanie, these are both decent items, and they're both items we don't have access to yet, so we're going to go ahead and pick those up. Well, this cursed mantis shrimp is pretty dangerous. I definitely want to kill the buffing alien, because it's going to boost the maximum HP of my enemies here, and that's going to really slow my kill speed, which is very bad, obviously. We want to kill as many things as possible, because every time we do, we're going to get a bunch of HP. I do still want to build Curse on this character. A Cursed Ghost Scepter is a really big deal, of course, if we manage to get something like that. We're always going to struggle a little bit this wave, because the buffing aliens are really bad for us, and the mantis shrimp are really bad for us, since they reduce our low damage down to 1. We'll take 9 movement speed here, and then I will buy Ghost Scepter, Beanie, and Duct Tape. Cute Monkey, although it's a level 1 item that we don't have yet, unfortunately it's one that we can't buy. So we are just going to ban Cute Monkey here, because obviously we don't want to reduce our ranged damage. And then this is great. We'll lock a Ghost Scepter, we'll lock Lens, and we'll lock a Scar. Even though we already have a Scar, it's just a great item. So of course we still want to buy good items when we see them, even if we already have a copy. And you can see now our damage is up to 7 per attack with our level 2 Scepters and 5 with our level 1s, which is starting to be respectable enough damage that we're actually killing things without too much difficulty. Even with Ghost Scepter, which normally is a fairly weak weapon. I'm only up to 21 HP. One thing that I often address when playing ethereal weapons, but didn't mention this time, is that you'll often see the advice to combine your ethereal weapons early to maybe get like 1 more point of HP by concentrating the kills on one high-level Scepter instead of on a bunch of different Scepters. I think that advice is typically mistaken. You lose a lot of money doing that by giving up kills, and it makes it harder to level your weapons in the long term. So typically, you should just give up a couple points of HP early in order to get way more money, way more levels, which also give you health, and better weapon levels later on. The free stats from the ethereal weapons, those will show up. You don't have to go out of your way to get them. 2 more ranged damage there, of course, is awesome, and then we will pick up all of this stuff, and then we'll roll. So here is where we start to buy items that are not particularly exciting, but I guess I'll take the Alien Tongue, and I could lock the Charcoal. It's a level 1 item we don't have yet. I don't think we need to start locking unique level 1 items. As you can see here, those will just show up, so I think we're okay there. I'm actually going to lock the Eye Patch, and I'll leave these other 2 unlocked and just in the pool. While we already have Piercing as the Renegade, a 2nd point of Piercing is good, and crit chance is actually pretty good on Ghost Scepter. It does get ×2 crit damage, so it's a totally reasonable stat to buy. We'll also end up with a decent amount of just random crit chance, because this character just wants to buy level 1 items. So even if we weren't specifically building critical hit, we would just end up with some, because if we see something like an Insanity, we're going to buy it, even if we don't need the crit that it gives specifically. So building around crit chance can be very useful. Items like Eye Patch, Tentacle, and Hunting Trophy can also gain extra value from having critical hit, which we're going to end up with anyways. Here, I could take 8% damage. Again, we buy this at 1/5 rate, but the number is very low. But again, I think we can do a little better. Yeah, I'll just take one ranged damage here, and then Building dodge is very powerful when we have 30% dodge already. So I think I'm just going to take 9% dodge. If I get to dodge cap early, that will give me a lot of additional sustain. Also, I really want to pick up some lifesteal. We haven't been given the opportunity to do that yet, but eventually that will be very important to us. I'm going to buy the alien worm here, and I will buy eye patch and actually ban the compass. I don't want to reduce my crit chance. We don't need the movement speed. This gets us a free reroll by banning the last item in the shop, so it's pretty good for that reason. We'll lock the weird food, and so here's the thing. If you're playing to just win the run most reliably, you should buy handcuffs here. 8 ranged damage is so much, and we'll get another 10 HP or so next wave. And 50, 55 or so is fine. That said, I'm playing Ghost Scepter Renegade. I'm here to get a huge HP total, so I'm going to pass on the handcuffs for now, but I do want to note that you actually should buy it here if your only goal is to win. Broken Mouth is another level 1 item that we don't have yet, so I am going to start locking those and buying them when we see them. Definitely need some attack speed. One of the best things we could find is the Humble Coffee, as it is in pretty much every Brotato run and also real life. Because it gives us a bunch of stats that we want and then also increases our damage. Killing the cursed enemies, focusing on killing this goblin shark just to give myself a little more safety. They can be a little dangerous since they charge, and that can be hard to avoid. But we've got enough damage now that I'm not struggling to clear both the large enemies and the smaller enemies, so we are starting to rake in the stats. Riposte, we're gonna ban. This is an item that we never want to see, so let's just get rid of it. And then here I will take 8 harvesting. Going up to 21 harvesting can still be useful. I'll buy the weird food and the broken mouth. I'm gonna pass on the snail. I just don't think it's that useful for us. I won't ban it yet, because I think there are more important things that we might want to ban. We'll buy those two, we'll lock the scar, and we'll do a reroll. Here's the hunting trophy I talked about, and leather vest is such a nice find. We don't care about losing HP at all. We are going to build crit chance, assuming that we find a couple more crit items. We are at negative crit chance right now, but that will change relatively soon. And of course, the hunting trophy gives us a lot of money. The leather vest gives us armor and dodge, so great, both of which are very key stats for us right now. So great shop for us. And try to kill this hatcher. Of course, the more health there is on the field, the less easy it is for us to clear all of these small enemies, because our shots will be being absorbed by the high health, tougher enemies. So trying to kill the hatcher before too many eggs spawn, trying to kill the eggs before they turn into slashers, is going to be very helpful to make sure that we can get the maximum value off our ethereal weapons this wave. Wave 9 just has a lot of enemies on it, so we should get good value, assuming that we stay on top of killing the important enemies. I'm going to kill the Hatcher before I go after that Curse Alien. I do want both, but the Hatcher is going to make it harder for me to get other kills, so we're going to take it out early. Got it, and then Curse Alien's up here. I might not quite have the damage. No, we did get it. Okay, nice. So we got 400 materials, we got the Curse Alien kill, and we're up to 77 HP. I'm going to take 2 lifesteal. I do want to get my lifesteal positive as well. With 3 attacks per shot, it's great to boost our lifesteal because we're just attacking a lot, so lifesteal is a great way to heal. Go ahead and buy these 3, and then we'll ban Alien Tongue. We already have one, so it's a level 1 item that we don't want to have show up anymore. I will buy the Bowler Hat. Losing attack speed and crit chance is bad still, but the Bowler Hat is a bunch of economy, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll lock the Snake, it's 2% more damage, and one thing that we haven't actually managed to do, because I keep finding good items of level 2 and 3, is we haven't bought that many unique level 1 items compared to where you normally would be on the Renegade. So we're actually still at minus 50% damage, which is definitely on the low end. So this wave is going to be a little harder for us because I am a little light on damage. I just bought the bowler hat, which reduces our DPS. But we should still get a decent boost out of this wave, and obviously the economy stats that we got will be very helpful going forward. Gonna kill that tree, and then we'll roll around this side. We also have piercing shots, so we're still killing most of the weakest enemies, even if some of the stronger ones are surviving. But definitely a bit of a rougher wave for us. Claw tree will definitely take. Crit chance, of course, we still want to build back to. Little muscly dude, I'm just gonna ban. We don't need to buy max HP, so let's just get this out of the pool. 12 harvesting, we really don't actually need at this point. But for ranged damage, I really do. And then I'll take 7 crit chance over 3 lifesteal. I have hunting trophy, so the crit chance is pretty good. And we'll buy the snake here. And then here I am gonna buy the handcuffs. 85 max HP is fine. And 8 ranged damage is just so powerful. So let's just go ahead and do that. We'll take the clover and the ghost scepter. Rip and tear we can pass on, and then we'll roll. Here's a cursed ghost scepter that we can lock as well, which of course will be excellent. So I don't think there's any chance we kill the elite, so I am just going to run away from it. I was testing my damage because we bought the handcuffs. Testing our damage against the elite made sense, because there was a... As you can see, we're doing some damage to it, just not enough that we can kill it without giving up way too much in terms of money and HP from the rest of the wave. Now, obviously, our HP is capped, so it doesn't matter that much if we get Ghost Scepter kills. Although there are some things that will benefit from having really high HP. And actually, I could have taken the Spicy Sauce since that scales off our HP. It's hard to use because we don't really want to build explosion size or anything like that on this character, but Spicy Sauce would do a lot of damage when it triggers. Taking a few extra hits here. I knew I was always going to take that hit, and... Oh, wow. I didn't think I was going to take that last hit, but the elite charged. Let's reroll. My move speed is fine. I'll take 10% attack speed. Very important. We will upgrade our Ghost Scepter, and then I'll upgrade a Ghost Scepter again. I'll lock a banner. Cursed Banner is going to be amazing. Fresh meat is one of the best things we could find. And then let's just go ahead and ban the candle just to get that another bad item out of the pool. Also, I wanted my level 4 Ghost Scepter to be the cursed one, which is why I bought things in that order. We did get some lamprey spawns here. So yeah, so this is actually where having that spicy sauce would be pretty good, because I could walk over these consumables and have a decent chance of exploding a bunch of these enemies. So regretting passing that one, that definitely would have been better. The damage from that scales off of your on-paper max HP stat, not your actual max HP. So even if you've capped your max health, scaling our max health with the Ghost Scepters will still boost the damage of spicy sauce. I'll take 3 more armor. That's going to help our sustainability a ton. We'll definitely buy the cursed item, and we'll buy the economy item. We'll lock a leather vest, and we'll roll. And then here's the insanity I talked about. We'll lock a fertilizer. And this is actually a fun spot where we're going to lock the mastery, because we intend to ban it. And doing so after buying these other 3 items will give us a free reroll. So we get a little bit of extra value by locking the mastery there instead of banning it right away. Basically, we get to look at 4 items for free instead of getting to look at 1 item for free. Because if we ban the mastery right away, we would have that slot open, so we would get to see 1 more item. But there's not a guarantee that we would then buy or ban that item, so there's a chance we would have to spend money on the reroll. Whereas this way, we're always going to buy the other 3 items and then ban the mastery, so we know we're getting a look at 4 items for free. The cursed hatcher I'm going to ignore mostly, I think. It's just too much health to get through. And our weapon damage is still a little on the lower end. Here I will take the piggy bank, just... It's only 26 materials. It will, even if I don't save any money, which I'm not going to save money for the piggy bank at this point, it will still give us some value. And so we'll get those 26 materials back. But more importantly, it just won't show up again, so we've gotten rid of it without spending a ban. Celery tea, we are going into a horde wave. Doubling enemy health in the next horde wave, I just don't think is something we can accept. So I'm just going to ban this item so it stops showing up. We'll take 9 crit chance there, and then we will ban the mastery and buy the other 3 items. Do a reroll here. I will keep leveling my ghost scepters, but do I want any of these others first? Buying the clover will eliminate my healing method, but gives us 6% more dodge, so that gets us to dodge cap and 20 luck going into a horde wave. So I think I will buy that. I'll lock the ghost scepter. Glass cannon at 1/5 of the normal value, so it's 5% damage. I don't think we really want that. We'll just roll past it and we'll lock a metal. I have reduced my crit chance a bunch, but we found a couple crit chance bonuses, so we're okay on critical hit still. And obviously you can't pass metal, it's just too good an item. Even on dedicated critical hit builds, you're going to end up buying metal anyways. Having 60% dodge is definitely nice, even though our healing is pretty bad, so when enemy attacks do go through the dodge, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Really regretting passing the spicy sauce. It isn't something that I really thought about for this character, because normally, of course, you don't want to steal kills from your scepters. And as the Renegade, you don't want to build non-weapon sources of damage. But for this character in particular, where we have all this HP, it can be pretty good. I'll definitely take the Scared Sausage. It's just a little more percent damage. And here we'll take 12%. Again, I do want to boost this, and even at an inefficient rate, it can still be very good. We will be able to upgrade our scepters, we'll buy a penguin, we'll buy a boxing glove, and we have a Scared Sausage now, so Greek Fire is going to be pretty good for killing elites, which is something that I would like to have the option to do. So we'll go ahead and buy that as well. The extra burn damage from the Scared Sausage is actually pretty useful. If we hit it on an enemy with our piercing shots, and remember, we're the Renegade, so we have piercing shots, and we bought a few extra with the eye patch. It's just 18 extra damage on the enemies that it hits, which is a relevant amount given the amount of damage we're doing per shot. Yeah, we'll take 2 ranged damage here for sure, and then guess I'm just going to take 7% more crit. Crit is one of the things that we can really use to boost this character. I'm going to wait on the Greek Fire. We don't need it yet, so we'll buy the Peacock, and do I want Poisonous Tonic or Gentle Alien? I guess I'll take Gentle Alien first, and I'll do 1 reroll. Oh, nice. A Cursed Ghost Scepter is an amazing find as well, and the Lost Duck is perfect also, and we've managed to boost our percent damage by quite a bit. Double Cursed Stargazer is a lot of health to get through, but we got there. Peacock, of course, is dangerous. It increases enemy damage. So that means I need to be very diligent about not letting any mini-bosses spawn. those with increased damage can be very bad news. But the extra XP that we'll get this wave is going to make up for the increased danger. Go kill that tower that a Stargazer had gotten to. Gonna work my way around to this side and kill this cursed Stargazer. Get a couple curse alien kills. I can be a little less strict about not letting the mini bosses spawn near the end of the map, of course, and then we'll kill a couple more curse aliens and start to boost our stats that way. Charcoal, it's not an amazing item for us, but it's 2% damage, so we'll take it. And then here, I'm going to take 12 speed. 2 range damage is also very tempting, but increasing our movement speed is going to be pretty helpful. Let's roll, and we'll take some lifesteal, and I'll keep trying to get that positive, although I have reduced it a lot. I'm going to buy the Greek Fire going into the Elite Wave here, and let's buy the minigun. It's just such a fun item. You don't get to see it used that often because it's fairly rare for it to actually show up. And of course our Ghost Scepters have already done their thing. This isn't even a particular challenge run, but I think we've already proved that you can beat Renegade with Ghost Scepter. So we will definitely buy a powerful weapon like the minigun when it shows up. There we go. So now we got the elite kill. Mostly, of course, that's our weapon damage, but the fact that I have the Greek Fire does help clear that thing just a little bit faster, which definitely makes it safer to do so. Minigun, of course, is also really good with the extra lifesteal. It is really good with the extra projectiles, and then gives us even more lifesteal if we are able to finally build lifesteal. Still a goal, of course. Kill that tree. And we made 700 materials this wave. The scarf, I guess I'll take it. I think we're okay with that. Cursed explosive turret on the Renegade is awesome. It will fire 3 projectiles. They will all pierce, so it's going to do absurd amounts of damage. Let's go ahead and get another level 4 Cursed Scepter. We'll buy a minigun. I will buy the Poisonous Tonic. Wheat I'm buying just for the ranged damage, but it is worth 237 for the ranged damage here. I'll buy the Weird Ghost, and I've got plenty of move speed. I think minus 1 HP. Well, obviously, we're not actually losing the HP. I think 71 materials for 3 crit chance is fine, so I will buy that. Now, I do need to be careful because my healing is pretty poor. And I bought Weird Ghost, but obviously we still want to boost our damage. I also I'm no longer at dodge cap, so I do need to pay attention to that. And try to pick up a little more dodge before the end of the run. So the main thing about the Weird Ghost for this run is just I need to be very careful around the pufferfish, because it would be easy for them to have one-tapped me at the beginning of this wave. Especially... And of course, I've increased enemy move speed with the scarf, but our damage is high enough that I did not feel like we were going to be under real threat there. We did get a dodge when that pufferfish spawned directly under me. We wouldn't have died even if it had hit, but nice to get that dodge. I'll take the 2 range damage. We'll take the bat. That's going to help our healing a lot. Yeah, I'll upgrade my Scepters. Crystal is going to be a lot of attack speed, because we don't intend to take too many hits, and Defective Steroids again boosts my percent damage. Chameleon is a really bad way to build dodge, so I am going to not do that. I probably will just have to roll for dodge, even though it's going to be on this level up, even though it's going to be my level 25 level up, and some of the 12 dodge that we get will be wasted. It'll go over cap. The last few points of dodge are so valuable that it's still worth going well over cap and spending a really important level up on it. Get this tree kill. It is sad that we didn't get the Pocket Factory, because of course Pocket Factory is awesome on the Renegade, since it triples the attacks from your turrets. Made 750 materials here. Black Belt, we don't benefit from any of those stats. Little Frog, we don't. Honey is great, obviously, giving us extra ranged damage. And here I am going to roll for 12 dodge, and we'll take that. And then let's re-roll again. And 4 lifesteal is actually massive. Going up to 7% lifesteal, that is going to put us in a position where we're just not going to struggle with healing, because we attack so much. Let's compare the damage. Yeah, so the minigun, even the level 3 minigun, is doing about twice as much damage as the cursed level 4 scepters. We'll keep buying some level ups here, and gambling token we don't need. We're over dodge cap. The cursed SMG I could buy, so if I sold a ghost scepter, yeah, let's do that. We'll sell the ghost scepter, we'll buy cursed submachine gun, and that will help us kill the bosses just a little faster. And then we have 360 max HP, but only 85 actual HP. Let's go ahead and go to wave 20 and kill some bosses. Immediately had to dodge twice because I just walked into those attacks, but that's okay. We'll heal back to full pretty quickly. Now that I have the SMG and the minigun, even 9% lifesteal is basically infinite healing. And there we go. We have managed to slay the bosses with the Renegade. Taking a look at our items here. So our item damage, the minigun dealt 17k, the cursed SMG dealt 21k, and then all our ghost scepters were in the 5 to 10k range. We ended up with fewer level 1 items than you usually do on the Renegade. We just got a lot of good level 3 items that I ended up buying. Cursed Banner obviously was great. The handcuffs, of course, were excellent. Although it is a little sad that we didn't actually have 360 HP. The ranged damage is just so powerful on this character. Piggy Bank gave us 43 of the 26 back that we spent on it, so it still wasn't like worth buying in and of itself, but it meant that it never showed up again. Scared Sausage is listed as doing 30k, and the Greek Fire is listed as doing 81k, so yeah, those did very well. We hit level 25 because of the Peacock, and actually got to level 26 at the end there. And then only 22k on the Explosive Turret. I guess we didn't have any explosion size increases, which is what usually makes this item excellent, and we were just killing stuff a little too fast, but it still was pretty good given that we got it very late. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this run. This is always just a really fun run. You end up with so much HP, and you just get to kind of run around killing things. So even though we capped our HP in this particular version of the run, you get the idea of how it will work most of the time. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.